Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to rise today and speak to Bill S-211, an act respecting National Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Bill S-211 seeks to establish June 19th as National Sickle Cell Awareness Day, aligning Canada with international organizations such as the United Nations and the World Health Organization, both of which already recognize this date as World Sickle Cell Day. I would like to commend, Mr. Speaker, if I could, Senator Jane Cordy, who is from my home riding of Dartmouth-Cole Harbour, for introducing this important bill, and I would like to thank her for allowing me the honour to sponsor this bill in this House. Coming here to Ottawa as a Member of Parliament means that I not only get to meet fascinating people with fascinating stories to tell, but it also means that every day is a constant learning experience. I'm hopeful that neither of these experiences will change during my time here. Many people have not heard of sickle cell disease, and if they have, they don't understand what it means to have it. Allow me to briefly describe what sickle cell disease, also known as sickle cell anemia, is. Sickle cell disease is a hereditary genetic disease and refers to the presence of abnormal hemoglobin resulting in crescent-shaped red blood cells. Normal blood cells, red blood cells, are donut-shaped and move easily throughout the body's circulatory system, delivering oxygen to the organs. Healthy red blood cells carry out this important life function for up to 120 days, whereas sickle cell disease cells have a lifespan of only about 20 days. Sickle-shaped red blood cells unfortunately do not flow easily in blood vessels and regularly become stiff and eventually break apart. The diseased red blood cells clog in the vessels and starve the body's ability to deliver oxygen to the organs. Because the organs are continually not receiving adequate oxygen, the result is severe pain, especially in the bones. Most sufferers feel that pain in their shoulder and hip joints, as well as in their chests. I'm told that the pain is truly debilitating. Canadians affected by sickle cell disorders are those with diverse ethnic backgrounds: African, Caribbean, Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, South American, and South Asian. I was amazed to find out that that is the most common genetic condition in Canada. The disease currently affects approximately 5,000 Canadians, and the number of Canadians diagnosed with this disease continues to increase. Here's the statistic that really stuck out to me. The Sickle Cell Association of Canada estimates that 1 out of every 2,500 children will be born with this disease. People affected by sickle cell anemia are living in chronic pain. Some are confined to their homes, requiring constant care, while others can live mostly normal lives. But even those living close to normal lives live with the realization that life with constant pain is most likely on the way. That pain will limit mobility and affect their quality of life. I'm sad to say that people with sickle cell disease have a reduced life expectancy 30 years lower than the national average. And Mr. Speaker, there is currently no cure for sickle cell disease. Research is desperately needed. In late September, I met with Ms. Rugi Jallo, President of the Sickle Cell Association of Nova Scotia, along with her delegation, Mr. William Nowako, Mr. Ricardo Peguero, and Dr. Jacob Pendergrast. Each of them had compelling and personal stories of how this disease has affected their health or the health of their family members. Rugi herself has the sickle cell trait, meaning that she is a hereditary carrier of the disease. Though she does not suffer from any symptoms to this disease, a child of hers would have a 50% chance of inheriting the sickle cell trait or a 25% chance of inheriting the disease itself. Imagine having to live with that frightening statistic. William told us of how he lost a friend to the disease recently, and his grief is compounded by the fact that his sister is one of many sickle cell disease sufferers who live in chronic pain. She is mostly bedridden and receives home care. His sister has a diminishing quality of life. And as Dr. Pendergrast emphatically explained in our meeting, sickle cell disease does not have a cure. Researchers are working on therapeutic options for sickle cell disease sufferers. Dr. Pendergast explained that sickle cell disease patients can receive regular blood transfusions and can take a powerful drug called hydroxyurea to manage their chronic pain. Now, this may sound like an easy, solid solution for sufferers of sickle cell disease, but Mr. Speaker, these folks are routinely having 10 to 20 blood transfusions a month. A month, Mr. Speaker. This is yet another reason why we must encourage Canadians to donate blood when possible. It's important to note that sickle cell anemia is an inherited disease. You can't catch it from someone. It cannot be communicated from one person to another. Due to a lack of awareness here in Canada, I learned that many people who carry the sickle cell trait had no idea they did so until they had a child diagnosed with the disease. I firmly believe that raising awareness could change this. Again, due to the lack of awareness, there are Canadians out there who are living with this disease and remain undiagnosed. These people are living with chronic pain and sometimes have their symptoms dismissed as just another would-be patient asking for painkillers. Sickle cell disease, when left untreated, can be fatal. Canadians in high-risk ethnicities for sickle cell who feel they have symptoms or feel that they've been misdiagnosed should be encouraged to take a simple and pain-free blood test. A diagnosis is that simple. Now, earlier I mentioned that there is a high risk of babies born to sickle cell carriers inheriting the disease. But luckily, some Canadian provinces are moving in the right direction. I'm pleased that newborn screening for sickle cell disease is available in the Yukon, British Columbia, Ontario, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and now my home province of Nova Scotia. I understand that the Sickle Cell Disease Association is advocating for a national newborn screening program, which would also help identify carriers with traits. Since 2008, June 19th has been recognized internationally as World Sickle Cell Disease Awareness Day. The Awareness Day was created to increase public knowledge and bring awareness to the struggle sickle cell disease sufferers endure on a daily basis. This date was chosen to commemorate the day on which a resolution was adopted by the General Assembly of the United Nations recognizing sickle cell disease as a public health concern. Sickle cell disease affects almost 100 million people worldwide, and according to the World Health Organization, it is one of the main causes of death for children under 5 years of age. Now, I'm sure many folks out there would ask, why do we need to make another day of awareness for a cause? Why should Bill S-211 matter to Canadians? When it comes to health issues, especially when it comes to health issues that generally affect very specific demographics, we must raise awareness. There are Canadians out there who don't even know that they carry the sickle cell trait. Awareness will ensure that more folks are tested, that we have a better understanding of what it means when our friends or family are diagnosed with sickle cell, and what it means if we ourselves are diagnosed. By raising awareness, Mr. Speaker, we bring attention to the serious hereditary genetic disease. We keep it top of mind among our best researchers, our fundraisers, and our communities. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all of my colleagues from throughout the House for listening to me speak tonight on Bill S-211. After sitting in my office and listening to the stories of those affected and those suffering from sickle cell disease, I jumped at the opportunity to sponsor and support this bill. Canada is a world leader when it comes to championing human rights, maternal and newborn health. We are known throughout the world for our optimism, compassion, and our empathy. We have the ability here to shine a light on this disease and to change the lives of those who are suffering. If we as parliamentarians and Canadians were to adopt June 19th as National Sickle Cell Awareness Day, we would be lending a powerful united voice to the world stage in recognizing the devastating effects of this disease. Together, we can honor those who suffer in silence, those who spend 10 to 20 days per month sitting in hospitals getting blood transfusions, and those babies who are born every day with this debilitating disease. I ask you to join me in supporting Bill S-211 to establish June 19th as National Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.